We've teamed up with UK Auto Claims to see if you could be eligible to claim thousands in compensation. If you've had any cars, vans or motorbikes on finance between 2007 and 2021, well, just click the link below and start your simple free check.
Hi, welcome to AFTV. I've got Julian with me. We've just beaten Southampton 2-1 here at St Mary's. I mean, enjoy your viewing today. I felt like a pre-season game, if I'm honest.
Oh, I very much enjoyed it because there wasn't the pressure, so you can sit back and just watch the game.
You don't want to live like that as an Arsenal fan. You want the pressure, surely.
Well, yes, you do want a pressure. I'd like to have been going for number one place today, but the other part of it is, and there's some teams that were stressing because they didn't get in the top five, and you'd have been stressing either way because the way that the Premier League's set up, you want it to, in a situation where everyone's got something to play for. It was actually something I was thinking about earlier, that years ago when they first brought in the playoffs, used to have the teams at the bottom that actually went into playoffs as well. So wouldn't it be a good idea if Spurs in 17th place ended up in the playoffs to actually stay in the Premier League?
That would have been nice, but they didn't. They lost today though 4-1, which is also a nice thing to see. However, they ended up winning the trophy this season. It kind of leads me on to this perfect question I'm asking everyone today, which, funny enough, today you haven't been over listening to all the interviews, which is good, so you won't know about this question coming your way. Would you prefer to have won the Champions League this season but finish 17th than be second in the Premier League?
I would have much preferred to have won the Champions League
and finished 17th.
And finished 17th, right, because you would have still got into the Champions League.
But that's what Spurs have done that with the Europa League.
Yeah, they have done. But then, you know, they're excited, and I understand why they're excited, because they've been starved of any success for many, many years. But they're excited because they won a trophy. But then I don't see how that can come back on Arsenal and people can make fun of Arsenal, the fact they didn't win a trophy. Because the other part of it is Arsenal didn't win, the Barry Goldstein Minor Cup.
Yeah, I know what the point is. They're not in it. They're not going to...
Well, they're not in it. They didn't win the Crossbar Challenge because they're not in it.
Nor did you.
Oh, no, I did.
At Bournemouth.
All right, that one I didn't. But on the Caribbean, I came second.
You didn't win that one. You didn't even win it.
All right, I came second. But the point I'm making is that the reason Arsenal didn't win a trophy, and that particular trophy, is because they're too good to be in it, and Spurs aren't. That was Spurs' level, and if Spurs want to play at that, well, it's not they want to play at that level. They only had the opportunity to play at that level, and fair play to them. They beat another very poor team in the final, and they beat a team that I thought was probably non-league Norwegian team in the semi-final.
Yeah, I mean,
and that kind of sums it up. It's not.
We never won it when we was in it. I think that'll be their argument, and I'm quite annoyed we didn't win when we was in it. However, it has changed with the whole system that the Champions League teams don't drop into it. But it is frustrating. But it's frustrating when a European.
It's meaningless. So don't get frustrated. Honestly, it's just meaningless.
It's meaningless. It feels like this season kind of feels like that towards the end as well. Finishing second. I mean, I'm your one man that looks things differently. Is it meaningless this season for Arsenal?
No, not at all. Because coming second. All right. You don't. How can I put it? There's no prizes for coming second, is what I tell my girlfriend. And that is an obvious negative. However, if you can't come top, come second. And the last time
to keep your girlfriend though, it'd be good if they do come second.
Well, she's still around. It's been a few years, so can't be doing that bad. But just getting back to Arsenal coming second, we've come second 3 times in a row. And the last time that happened was back in the 90s, which I remember. And what that led on to was the Invincibles, and straight after that, a double. So, it's far better to come second than to come third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and where we started a few years ago.
Are we on course for that?
I think we are on course, because the difference is we're keeping up with it. We're not sliding back down the league. We are still second. We've still conceded the least amount of goals in the league. I mean, Raya's won the Golden Gloves again. There's definite positives to this particular season, and there's a lot of reasons, a lot of mitigating circumstances why Arsenal did come second.
I need to double check that, because obviously he conceded today, but would he be joint Golden Glove winner with Matt Sells? I need to double check that, but you're right. I mean, listen, it's hope. Well, I don't know. Is he on course for it? It's a big That's a big statement. I mean, we hope, you know, that we do end up coming out with silverware. An invincible season would be incredible next season.
Or I'll take a double, or it could be a double invincible season. You know, you take it, and the way that they're lining up, the way that, you know, they're not falling away, they're keeping at that level. Yes, this season you can say that they've fallen back in the points, but there's so many reasons for that. You know, it all started with Rice, that ridiculous sending off, you know, and then followed by a few other, you know, questionable decisions. The injuries just stacked up. You know, things just didn't quite go away. Even in the Champions League, you know, the unfortunate timing of the Pope's minute silence, I thought, sucked the atmosphere out of the crowd. When we're at a situation where we probably had brewing up the best atmosphere that we've seen at the Emirates.
What are you doing here? Are you blaming the Pope?
I'm not blaming it, but I thought that particular minute silence was it could have been timed better, because they whipped up. They spent a lot of money and a lot of effort into building that atmosphere, and then they just sucked it out of the stadium.
It's a minute silence. It happens. It's a minute silence.
It is a minute silence, but they could have done it a few days later against Bournemouth. He'd have still been dead.